Welcome to the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast, a racing show by the fans for the fans. All right, honkies, welcome into Caution Flag Contemplations podcast. This is going to be episode number 23. I was thinking about just skipping it and going straight to episode number 24. Next week will be a special episode, episode 24, as we honor the one and only Jefferson Gordon, and the only reason that I race. So, I mean, like racing. I don't race, but how y'all doing today? Y'all doing wonderful?
Oh yeah, doing good.
I'm here.
I mean, y'all know any good stories today? Y'all sweat your
Yeah.
It was so hot. I know y'all both work in the heat too. God. And then we got heat warnings tomorrow. Me and the boys were on the conference call there this afternoon, and the phones came across. It's like 1 o'clock. It's like 99 degrees, heat index 107, and my phone says, "You have a heat warning for your area, heat advisory." I'm like, no freaking joke, Jack. Like, been sweating for 10 hours at this point. So, yeah, it's been a hot one, but I think we almost had an invader on the show. But yeah, I don't know, man. Y'all ready for the heat the rest of the week? Anybody calling in, or y'all just gonna man up and go to work?
Be there.
I guess I'll be there.
You know that kid Andrew Elliott I was talking about last week that hit me in the face with the Megaton?
Mm-hmm.
He's calling out tomorrow because it's supposed to be heat index 109. So he's a big old baby. Just kidding. He actually has to go to something important, but I figured I'd give him a hard time because he's a bully. So I just want to get that out there. But yeah, I don't know. Well, did y'all do anything good this weekend, JP? I'm gonna let you go first. I kind of know what D-Watt did a little bit.
I worked. It was rough. It was hot. It's busiest Saturday I've worked in a while.
Well, if you quit working at Ford, you probably wouldn't have so many problems, you know? I mean, I'm just saying. Just kidding. I mean, we'll have to bleep that. We don't want people to know that Ford has the worst car on the road. But yeah, D-Watt, what about you? What'd you do? Anything good?
I went up to I-75 Raceway with you. Met you up there. Played some pickleball over the weekend. Went walking with my wife. Went to made some brats on the grill on the pit boss. So that was Sunday afternoon. Made some brats for the race.
So you're officially married into that like Wisconsin thing. So,
oh
like,
yeah, they love it.
Do like
now
the full like boil them in the
boil them in beer. Yeah, boil them in beer, and then you take them outside and put them on the grill.
Oh, you boil them in the house?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you like put the pan on the grill. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna try that sometime. I've never had a brat that way. I've had a few brats in my day, but never one like that. You know, those better cheddars, they're not too bad. You know, I like them. What's those ones that we got at Eldora? Bacon cheddar.
Yeah,
John's
those are
Grill,
good.
baby. That's what y'all want. I'm a big Conecuh guy. For those of y'all don't know, but I did Sunday. I did fire up the grill for the first time in a while for lunch. We had had some ballpark Angus, all beef. Those things are huge, man. It's a big old wiener. So definitely enjoyed that. Welcome to the show, guys. Sorry. No, they were good. I fired up the tailgate grill. I hadn't used it, I don't think, since Atlanta. So I was like, well, Atlanta's coming around again. I guess I better fire it up. So I pulled it out and cranked it up, put it up there, and I cooked a can of chili on the grill like a real man. You know, just kind of gave it the old stir. So that worked out. And then I made a gourmet dinner for the working wife last night. So. But yeah, it's a decent weekend. I-75, let's talk about that a little bit. So, great track. What was it? Crate Racing USA?
Crate Racing USA, yeah. 10,000 to win.
JT Kerr Memorial.
Yep.
Was
Used
that
to
at
be at
411?
411.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It used to be at 411. It was a good deal. We got out of there at 9:35. Yeah. We got out of there before Trump blew up Iran. So that was interesting. But yeah, I mean, just kind of talk about that real quick. So like, we were talking at the race, JP, you weren't there, but like these East Tennessee tracks, like we got to do a little something because like none of them raced, and then they all raced. Bulls Gap, Tazewell, Mountain View, and I-75, which I-75 did race Friday too. They had the 2-day crate show. I'm just going to go out on the record and say I think it's dumb that they're doing 2-day crate races, Crate Racing USA. I'm sorry. But it's the prelims and all that. It's just, I don't know. I mean, they had 50 cars. Some of those guys did leave and go to other tracks. Welsham was at Bulls Gap. I don't know if y'all saw that. He was there Friday night, went to Bulls Gap, I saw. After some of the guys that weren't going to make it or whatever, but I don't know. I think it's just too much. The support classes, the street stock class was good. I had a good car count. It was like 16, and that continues to be one of my preferred classes to watch because it's not a late model like everything else. So good to see that. We got to see, is it Bryson Hickman?
Yeah, Bryson, B01.
Yeah, B01.
B01.
B1, B01, whatever. Out there, smack him down sportsman class. Wasn't much of a close race there for that for sure. It was hot. We did upgrade with a fan. We got some nice fan down there at the Lowe's on the way. So definitely recommend those. You got to have a heater when it's cold and a fan when it's hot. I'm just getting old and crotchety. I'm turning into that guy like that old fogey. I just got everything in my garage that I don't need. My wife's probably going to be ready for me to start throwing some crap away here before too long. So, but yeah, it was a good time. Let's see. D-Watt. So you're Matt now officially, according to my child. He kept calling you Matt, which is so funny. I was telling the wife about that when we went out with our other friends the night before, and her name is similar to yours. And he was just so confused. Like, no, that Matt.
Yeah, he kept saying no.
No, that Matt. So that was funny. But yeah, we had a good time up there. I do love the old I-75 Speedway. It's a nice place. Big shows up there. We were talking about, too, like, they could have some big shows up there. They got all kinds of room. Something like the Gobbler, one of those big 200-car events. Be awesome up there. So hopefully they get some of those one day. But, yeah, good time. Who took the win? Did you take any notes from that race? You want to cover it?
I don't have a lot of notes on it, but Hitchcock started on the pole and led, was it all the laps, something like that. Yeah. So he track was good. Yeah, he drove a little pissed off, I guess. He's had a rough month or so. So he's got a lot going on, it sounds like, from what we've seen online and stuff.
I don't know. It definitely, some of his posts look like he's had a rough month. So good to see him out there getting the win. I was going to pick him last week.
Oh, yeah.
I was this close. JP said I didn't have the balls. I didn't have the balls, unfortunately. And if I did, I would have done it. In fact, I knew that was the car he was going to be driving when he showed up. It just didn't happen. I was really surprised. It was funny. Southern All-Stars were advertising with the 23V on their poster for their weekend. He was not there. So that didn't work out for them. Corey did say after the race he will be back at Hunt Front this weekend. They got a big weekend coming up. They have, I think it's Lake Cumberland Friday and Florence on Saturday. So 15 and 20, I believe, to win. So big weekend front to front. You'll see a lot of guys up there. I would say Lucas is off. World of Outlaws is racing, but they're out in the West. So, if you're on the tour, you'll be out there, but everybody else may not be. Interesting to me, which, side note, that they're going to run World of Outlaws against Summer Nationals this weekend. Did y'all see that?
I did not.
I did not.
Like World of Outlaws racing like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They're out there like maybe North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin. Like they're on the far side away from everything. So I thought that was just kind of interesting. They're racing. We'll talk about that when we get scheduled for next week. But anyways, other than that, two big races. Firecracker 100. They got rained out Thursday, and then they were about ready to go Friday. It looked like, and the rain came tumbling down. I don't know about y'all, but I like sat on the couch Friday night, and I was like, dang. There's nothing to watch. I guess I watched. I guess they raced I-55.
I-55.
I don't think I watched much of it though. Just to be honest, I'm pretty sure it was also pretty late.
Yeah, I'll give my thought on that. They just, something's got to change, and I don't know what exactly it needs to be when it comes to these, these races on flow or on dirt vision. But man, it's like it's getting later and later. So something's got to be done.
Yeah. So I agree with you. It was ridiculous. That Saturday feature, we'll talk about the feature and all that here in a minute. But like you said, we went to I-75. I came home. I know you also came home. Watched Lucas. Probably seen every lap. I did not see every lap. That's because I came home, put the kid in bed, unpacked the truck, took a shower, and then I went and sat on the couch, and they had 79 to go, and I was like, all right, sweet. So, but I watched it from there on. But it got done. It was like, I don't know, 11:45-ish. I was like, it's bedtime. Let me flip over here to Dirt Vision. Surely they'll be running their feature. And they were doing track prep for the midget feature, which was going to be before the late model feature, which was also, I believe, before the modified feature. So, and it is 12:30 Eastern time when I went to bed, and they were still doing track prep, and I was like, boys, that's just too late. I know summertime, it's you got to start late. The tracks dry out. It's hot. You got to be, kind of keep everybody healthy. But yeah, I'm with you, D-Watt. I think that you got to do something, whatever that is. If you're trying to do these races, at the end of the day, we're paying a lot of money to watch these streaming services. I was talking to somebody about it today. I don't want to say on this podcast how much I spend a year on that because I'll probably get smacked in the back of the head. But you guys know, like they're not cheap, and then when you can't watch it because it's too late, like that sucks. And I know that they're trying to have 3 series. They had the midgets and summer nationals and late models, so it's a lot going on. But yeah, definitely need to work on that, and maybe just 2 classes, go for it. I don't know. That's my opinion. As that I agree with D-Watt on that one. That's a nice shirt you got.
Oh, thank
Davenport. You. Yeah. You're always wearing winter's gear. Where's your Chase Briscoe crap at? Oh, you don't have any anymore. So he doesn't drive Ford anymore. Oh, you used to have Chase Briscoe crap.
Years ago, yeah.
You still got it somewhere, probably.
Somewhere.
You still got some 14 merch up in there. I believe it. You should have pulled that out, chicken.
I should have.
Or this Menards crap, Ryan Blaney. Idiot. But anyways, all right, it's Friday. Let's talk about these 2 features real quick. 53 cars at I-50. 52 cars, I-55 on Friday for 10K to win. Brian Shirley goes fast time, and that's cool for him. Bobby Pierce wins Heat 6, and Bobby Pierce wins the feature. Pretty well smoked him. No shock there, right? Can I get a witness?
Yeah.
So Bobby Pierce gets the win there. That is the head-to-head with the World Outlaws and the Summer Nationals late models. Hell Tour, yada, yada, yada. I-55 looks like a pretty good track. Peevely, Missouri. Is that the home of Kenny Wallace?
No, that's the track that Ken Schrader owned at one point.
Oh.
Okay. I knew them guys raced out there somehow. One of them did. But Kenny Wallace was there in attendance in a modified, but I didn't get to watch him because their feature was probably like 3 o'clock in the morning. So, but yeah, definitely good deal. Bob Pierce over Tim McCready and Ryan Gustin. Pretty standard, night for World Outlaws night. No shock there. Saturday, we roll into Saturday for them. Big show. Believe is it 30, 50?
I want to say it was 20,000 to win.
It was 20 to win. Okay, 20 to win on Saturday. And again, we rolled in 53, and you kind of expect the same, but the finish was not the same result. It's just having the regulars up there smoking them. So, fast time, Cade Dillard, old Louisiana boy. Good for him there. Mike Harrison ended up with the pole after the heats. That 33 car. I don't really know where he's from, but man, my kid's screaming if y'all can't hear it in the background. Mommy must have popped that butt. I don't know. So anyways, we go in that, and I was figuring Bobby Pierce was going to win. He won his heat there. I was like, oh, here we go again. But I think he ended up having a flat tire or something like that. I didn't watch the race like I talked about. This thing was too late. But Drake Troutman gets the win over Mike Harrison and Brian Shirley. D-Watt, I know you watched it. Track was pretty rough. I know you watched the highlights and stuff.
Yeah, I watched the highlights, and the track was rough, but they could pass well. And I like the track. It's just quick, and it's something different than what we see around here. So I was a big fan of the track. I think it was the first time seeing it on TV.
Yeah.
So it was. I would definitely want to check that one out for sure.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I can say that's my best track on iRacing.
Oh, okay. This week or for a lifetime or?
What do you mean?
I mean, you change your mind all the time.
No, forever. That's probably where I have the most dirt wins at.
Okay, I thought your most dirt wins was at Lernerville.
It used to be.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about Lernerville in just a minute. But anyways, Troutman gets his first. You got in the notes here, D-Watt. That's the first World Outlaws late model win. Big time for him, 20K in the GR Smith 22. They've had that thing rolling, right? I mean, he's had a solid year always from Florida on up. So good to see him up there. I believe I was looking at their points. I think I didn't put it in the notes here. He was up there like 4th or so. Pierce is, pretty well running away with their points over Hoffman. Hoffman's still sitting 2nd, but I think T-Mac was right there catching in or or one of the two. I think it's T-Mac was really dialing back in the back of Hoffman, but Troutman's not that far back either. Kind of so. It take a lot of trouble, I think, at this point. Seeing what Bobby's done for him to screw it up. He's looking pretty good, but interested to see if Troutman can go out there and make it happen. J.R. Smith had his history. JP used to love him, and
yeah, right.
That 22 star is growing on me. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. It's growing on me. I might buy a T-shirt just for JP to wear on the next podcast. You can put that right there next to your Brandon Overton.
Burn that one.
76.
No,
RB hot sauce.
Hey, I actually like that shirt. It's actually kind of growing on me now.
Yeah, because that's a nice wrap, isn't it?
Not the car, the shirt. I like
wrap.
the shirt.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. That's just for me. It's a little engagement present. So I just happened to time that out perfect. So, but yeah. Anyways, all right, moving on. That's it for World Outlaws and Summer Nationals Hell Tour. We're not even going to talk about the Hell Tour. Guys, we told y'all last week we haven't had time to watch all of them, so if we haven't watched it, we're not just going to talk about it and tell you who won. But they had a week. They had one rain out, I believe, this week, and, out there doing their thing. Tyler, Brian Shirley, kind of the usual cast. So, but yeah, anyways, moving on to Lucas. Lucas at Lernerville, Firecracker 100. I know D-Watt got to watch this one. You wanna run through it, or you just want to?
Yeah, I'll run through it. So pretty much I got home and watched it. Feature-wise, I'll just go to the feature on it. So Davenport started on the pole, is that right?
Outside.
And led 98 laps or something like that.
Yeah.
And just looked to be a pretty good domination there for him. And there towards the end, Thornton Jr. and Max Blair, which I already know Max Blair is pretty aggressive. And I've seen a lot of history with him at other tracks getting aggressive. So them two were going at it. And then Thornton, I don't say he got into JD a little bit. Didn't slam him, but he definitely got into him with just a couple to go, maybe 1 or 2 to go. But and then in the interview afterwards, JD said, "I ran the same freaking same, and then I got slammed with." So he was kind of going on and on in his interview, but he finally got his win there. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
So all in all, I mean, it was great to see him win, and it was good to get home in time to see it.
Oh boy, is on a tear right now.
It's on fire.
Going for the crown jewel sweep, I guess. I guess Firecracker fits. I don't know. I've heard some debates both ways on that. I know it was World Outlaws. Now it's Lucas. But it's a long-standing event, right? It's been a big time thing for a long time. So good to see him get the win. I also got to watch all of that. I kept watching. There was so many cautions in that race. Damn, dude. I probably have it in the notes down here somewhere. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or. I mean, there was 4 or 5 cautions. He did take the lead on lap 2, and then he that one lap when Ricky ran into him, it was like at lap 85. It was on that restart after Rice had a problem or something like that, and Ricky got into him, and I was like, oh nope, it's over, and he ended up getting away with it. So you talking about what JD was saying, what Ricky said after. He's like, well, I don't want. He said because he passed him, and he said I pretty much gave it back because I didn't want to win that way because it didn't feel right. And Davenport said after that his steering rack was messed up, bent pretty good. He had trouble steering the car and all that. I'm like, dude, you're still moving pretty damn quick for somebody without a steering rack. But he said he was driving all gas and brake there, no turns. So good to see him get the win and not have it snatched there at the end. He is, like I said, on a tear for the year. He is 5 points behind Ricky Thornton Jr.
Oh, okay.
And the Lucas points, which in my opinion, we're getting there. We got to get down to the final 4 or whatever here for them. Alberson, Overton, and Shepard, they need to get on it. You have JD. Well, I'm sorry. You have Ricky and JD. Then you have O'Neill and Moran in the points. And those other ones, they're really starting to fall back off the line there. And they're going to have some good runs here. We're about halfway through, I suppose, in the Lucas points. So definitely time for some of the guys to get it together. Overton, I would say his year's been disappointing at this point. I don't know. I don't necessarily feel that way about Alberson. I feel like Alberson's been fast all year, unloaded fast, sat on a lot of poles, qualified really well, done well in the heats. But I feel like they fade at the end of the race a lot. Kind of something he's always done. I don't know if that's tire management or setup or driver or what it is, but we'll see what happens there. Shepard, they've had some splurges of looking good, but they just haven't quite got it back to where they want it to be. Josh Rice is coming. Josh Richards is coming back. That's what I heard. Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
I mean, I seen one of our favorite idiots on X saying, "Y'all know that Shepard leaves about every 4 years." Like, buddy, he's only been back for 8 months. Like, what do you mean he leaves every 4 years? Jeez. So I don't know. I don't think Shepard's going anywhere from the Rocket One, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully they'll get it figured out. I would like to see them in the Final Four for Lucas. I think that'd be good for everybody. More chassis is the better, right? And same thing. I really like to see Gustin do good in Xfinity over on the World Outlaw side, but we'll see what happens there. Other than that, I thought it was a pretty good weekend overall for racing. I really felt like that Firecracker race was pretty cool. Another track, like, never been up there, Pennsylvania, for a race, but I would like to go sometime. We got to start branching out. We're going to start making some road trips. It's going to cost a lot of money. But JP's going to buy us a camper. We're all just going to pile in and start going around the country. Right. That's what I heard. So, he's making that money. He's making about 70 hours a week, and he's out there smoking them. So I seen a feller that just like you on TikTok this week, and he said, "Hey, listen, I'm flat rate. I'm here to make money. You got hours, I'll take them. Who needs a lunch break? Can I get an amen?"
Yeah.
But no, man, I don't know. I really have got to watch a lot more this year, and the Flow and the Dirt Vision both, their cameras have gotten so much better this year. Like, we're like dadgum near 4K level. I don't have a 4K TV, but everything's HD and looks good. Props to both of them for having a good amount of cameras. I noticed at the Lucas race, for the Firecracker, they've got to where they're switching between like 4 or 5 cameras a lap sometimes, which is awesome. More like NASCAR style coverage, instead of just 1 or 2 cameras up on the roof like it used to be back in the day. So just shout out to them. That's also going really well. They need to hire Randy Weaver at Flow full time, though. Me and D-Watt talked about that at the racetrack. We didn't mention.
That'd be a good investment right there.
Randy was up there driving. Randy and Cameron both. Cameron had the throwback, baby. He had the 116 red and white. Whew! It was hot. It was slow, so it's hot garbage, but it was hot. I really thought for a second, too. I just kind of back that. Sorry, throw back that. Corey took that race win, but Randy pulled in a second there on one of those restarts, and I was like, whew. But he ended up getting shuffled up after that and got back to about 4th and couldn't make any ground. But I really thought he was going to make a run on Corey, and I think if he'd been second, he probably would have, just for the record. Randy, you know how Randy is. He gets in that car and he just gets to digging. So the only thing that'd been better if we could have had Hickman in a crate up there with him too. But anyways, all right. Sorry about that. Moving on. This week's schedule, like I said, Huntsfront is at Lake Cumberland and Florence. Those are both with the Northern All Stars. I believe that's S3E23 Series. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. 4-day week for World of Outlaws. They are at Thursday. They're supposed to have a race actually right now, like as we're talking. It got rained out. Independence Motor Speedway in Independence, Iowa, but they are at I-94 EMR Speedway in Fergus Falls, Minnesota on Thursday. I believe, y'all know the Millennial Farmer, Zach Johnson, racing the Dome. I believe that he also races Cletus and all that kind of crap, but I think he wrecked his late model there at that same track. I believe I saw it on Facebook last week. So I don't know if he'll be there or not. That'd be pretty cool if he could somehow.
He has a late model?
Yeah, he got a late model this year. So his kid's driving the modified, and he's driving the late model. So I'd love to see him somehow make that race. I don't even know if he's driving open motor, if it's crate or whatever. But yeah, he's got some wins. So that'd be cool to see him up there. After that, they go to River City Speedway in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Like I said, they are on the opposite side of town from us. These will probably be late ones, and it is what it is. So no complaining, D-Want. We'll just have to quit complaining for fun. But Summer Nationals is at Macon and Farmer City, and Tri-City Speedway, Granite City, Illinois, Springfield. So they're going to be racing every night, per usual. Other than that, Ironman late models, Lima Land Motorsports Park, JP's third favorite iRacing track.
That's a long shot there, buddy.
Hopefully that'll work out for him. But I don't know what I'm doing this weekend. Saturday, we got Huntsfront at Florence. I'd love to go to Florence another time. I missed that track. I know me and D-Watt only went once, but I really did like the track. It's a great environment. So I'd like to go to race there, but probably not this week. Probably watching Echo Park Speedway. Every time I hear them say Atlanta on the broadcast, I'm taking a shot. So don't call me after about 7:30. The race starts at 7. So
yeah.
But yeah, they got that. Talladega Short Track, Southern Thunder. Those Southern Thunder also raced at Cherokee. They haven't got in our area yet, but they're not far, So we'll see what happens there. I was curious. One thing I wanted to see real quick that we didn't cover from this week. Did y'all happen to see what about that East Alabama race on Saturday? Owens was
Jimmy
running
Owens,
that big frog
yeah.
car. Do you happen to see
He
the
got second
results on
place.
that?
Jimmy
Okay.
got second, and I think first was Putnam. I want to say
Josh
Putnam.
Putnam. Now,
Okay.
11 cars. They're still doing this. Props to the racetrack, man. They're having this 10. It's like a 10 race or something, points fund or whatever, and it's $10,000 to win a race, $10,000 to win the points. They only had 11 cars show up. Josh Putnam, Jimmy Owens, Dave Brazil, Dalton Cook, and Matthew Bricado, JP's paint scheme ripoff there. Cade Mullinax, Dusty Jones. So, but yeah, it's cool to see them have that little thing at their track. I feel bad for them on the car count, but you guys seen the schedule this weekend. There's a lot to race, so tough for them to go against some of that. But cool to see Jimmy down there. See if he makes any more starts in Big Frog. He did say he was going to be back in the. I saw on Facebook we are going back to the Kohler Motorsports car, so that's not a permanent thing. But yeah. Other than that, I don't see anything else really on schedule. World Outlaws, Nodak Speedway in Minot, North Dakota. I mean, they're out there, boys. They're going to be seeing that daggum, what's that thing called? Crazy Horse. We need to go there, too. One of these days. Crazy Horse, you don't even know what that is, do you? What? That's this, they're cutting this Indian guy into the side of the mountain, and our granddad always likes it. But I happened to see a picture on Facebook yesterday, like an update from 22 to 25, and like they've got his like whole hand is cut out now. I don't know if JP ever looks at it, but it's kind of like Mount Rushmore, or whatever. But they're building an Indian chief into it, so they're gonna be up there and need to check that out. But other than that, Clarksville, Southern Nationals on the 29th. Is that Sunday?
Yeah.
I mean, if y'all want to get wild with it, we can go watch some Toilet Bowl Classic Summer Nationals, I guess. Probably not going to happen. I wouldn't mind it, but it is what it is. BMF's going to be at North Georgia Speedway. North Georgia looks like they're having a pretty good year. Shout out to them, too. We don't talk about them a lot on the podcast. It looks like they had a good year. They had World Outlaws. No, World Outlaws. I wish.
Outlaws.
They had them, but I was actually talking about Southern All-Stars. That's who they had there this weekend, and had decent car count there and at Penton both. So good for Southern All-Stars. All right, other than that, Dirt, anything else you want to talk about? You want to wrap it up, move on to this NASCAR so I can rant for the next 45 minutes?
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
All right, sounds good. D-Watt told me to quit talking. All right, D-Watt, you got a truck race. You watched it.
Yeah, I watched. Okay, so I love the truck series, but it's turned into the a Riggs and Heim show, which is fine. I like both those guys, but those two are definitely the future of the sport. I feel like, in my opinion. Hopefully, Lane Riggs can find a spot with Ford, whether it's Penske or RFK or somewhere like that. But so Lane Riggs won stage 1, and stage 2 was Corey Heim, and then Riggs won the feature. But here in stage 2 is when Hocevar jumped the start, which is clear as day. He had to argue it or whatever, but he jumped it after seeing. First, I wasn't so sure, but after I saw some replays, he definitely jumped it. And then Corey Heim had a flat right rear coming to the restart, so that got him in the back. But all in all, it was a pretty good race, and I like Lane Riggs. I just hope he gets a good chance in the future. But all in all, it was good weather, good race, and that was my take on it.
Yeah, Lane's a good dude, man. Yeah. I'm with you. Just for the record, we haven't talked about this on here, but the driver, I'm telling y'all, I said it on the podcast last week, and I'm going to say it again. NASCAR, if 2311 doesn't sign some paperwork here pretty soon, there's going to be a lot of drivers on the market, and we're going to see some charters on the market, and God knows who's going to get what and do what. Yeah. I'm just going to say it. I think Lane Riggs is the replacement for Brad Keselowski. I think he'd fit in good there. And if you really want me to dig down deep, I think it's going to be Rodney Childers at RFK next year with Lane Riggs. You heard it here first.
Okay.
I feel like that's a good short track, old school combo. Rodney can go back to Ford. He's been with Ford for a while. I think Brad wants people that know what they're doing. I think Rodney can do it. I just don't think he got along with the Spire crowd. I think the business thing was the issue. Nobody said anything. I'm surprised on that situation we hadn't heard, but that's my prediction there. So, like D-Watt said, there aren't necessarily a ton of seats available, but I would love to see Lane Riggs up there as well, because I think he can do it. We skip Xfinity now because it's the ARCA series of NASCAR. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. But so how many races has Corey Haim, your boy, choked now? D-Watt, like 20?
Quite a few.
Oh man, it's getting more. Probably count 2 hands. Probably getting close to that point.
mean,
It's
between
quite a few.
Flat tires, speeding penalties,
Yeah.
pit route. I mean, shoo, that's tough for old Corey Haim, and he's still smoking them in the points, I believe.
Yeah.
So, when you think about it that way, you're like, just imagine what it would be. He has a 124-point lead, 4 race wins, 12 stage win, 32 playoff points.
God,
That's a lot.
He has 21 playoff points on Chandler Smith, who's second in the points. Lane Riggs is third with playoff points with 9. So, Corey Haim, Kyle Busch, Chandler Smith, and Lane Riggs pretty much won most of the stage points in the Truck Series at this point. So, as far as the Hostafar thing goes, he's just a big old whiny baby. He needs to go back to Mexico and learn how to be sensitive or something, that was almost as bad as Kyle Larson. If he'd have said something. All right, I'm going to stop. It was bad. That was a bad comment from Hostafar. We didn't talk about that. They should have pulled him out of that truck race as punishment. Honestly, that should have been part of his deal from Spire. You can't go talk crap out of country that we're racing in. Whether you like the idea of racing there or not, you are a professional athlete getting paid to do it. I don't expect to hear Ellie De La Cruz come out and bitch and moan about having to play baseball at Bristol, nor do I hear Ronald Acuna. I don't want to hear them bitching about that, so I don't want to hear Hostafar bitching about going to race in Mexico. You're getting paid to drive race cars on whatever track they tell you to, so just quit complaining. And if you want to have your thoughts, have them to yourself. Tad Boyd obviously got canned for his crap on there too. Spotter for, I don't even remember who he spotted for at this point. Ricky. So, yeah, it's them spotters, man. Them old school spotters are out. There's no more Brett Griffins left, baby. They're running them out. We'll see how many of them make it through the year here. But, Brett's gone. Tab's gone. What's the other guy that used to always have on DBC like once a year that I'm trying to get Brett kicked off? His little fishing buddy from Mount Airy. God, I can't think of his name. He also spotted for Boyer and RCR. But anyways, all right, moving on. Xfinity race. Let's just call it the Crash Fest 500. I'll let y'all handle it. Who wants to talk about the crew chief situation? Anybody got an opinion?
Here's the thing.
Go ahead, Joe.
Here's the thing. I hate to say it, but Kyle Busch is right. Dale wasn't making no damn calls. Let's be real. I mean, anytime in modern NASCAR when a crew chief gets suspended, whether it be the Truck Series, Xfinity, or Cup, they have so many engineers and other people, and their crew chief is still sitting wherever, whether it be out in the parking lot or at the race shop in Charlotte, damn making all the calls still. It doesn't matter who's sitting on the damn box. The guy that's supposed to make those decisions is always going to be making those decisions.
Bueller.
I agree. I felt like it was a pretty strong comment by Kyle Busch, which I don't think he meant anything, bad by it or mean by it, but it's just very direct. But yeah, he wasn't even wearing the crew chief dry fit shirt like some of them do, and
no fire suit.
if you want to get technical, he wasn't even dressed up like a crew chief. But he is, smart when it comes to race car and stuff, so you think he knows somewhat of what's going on. But it's unique that he got his first win as a crew chief on his debut. So,
I mean, do you think they gave him extra horsepower? Yes or no?
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Does Zillage
for
have
sure.
a couple extra horsepower? No, man. I don't know. First of all, for those of you that don't know, because we just went straight into it. Dale Jr. was crew chief this weekend on the 88 of Connor Zillage in the Xfinity race after they basically had a crew chief who got suspended for having loose lug nuts in Mexico City. Given their NASCAR policies, I think you have to have somebody that's on the team roster. I don't think you can add somebody for the weekend under suspension. So it has to be somebody has to go sit up there. So Junior did do it. I'm going to completely disagree with y'all. I think Junior, not so much the strategy calls, but the driver coaching and probably the intensity and the focus that he probably added to Connor Zillage. You want to talk about some high-pressure crap is driving Dale Jr.'s car with Dale Jr. on the pit box.
Yeah, that's true.
In a car that literally is expected to run top 5 every week, right? Like that's a car that's expected to win. Kyle Larson obviously drove it once, smoked him. So that car has it. I think that the biggest thing that Junior did, like I said, is just the focus that he probably helped Zilich with, the pressure if nothing else, and he didn't mess it up. And I think, to me, the fact that Zilich did not go out and wreck this car should kind of tell everybody where Zilich's head is at. Like, this is, I think we talk about, I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast before, but talk about, with Dad and JP for sure. Like, some guys have it, some guys don't. In any sport, some guys choke. While we're talking about Xfinity, Justin Allgaier, absolutely he cannot get out of his own way. I mean, after that, but, Zilich, like, I think he's one of them guys. That's why I think he's good. That's why I think he's going to have a long Cup career. And, this charter thing also, he's another one. Where does he go? Who gets these charters? We're about to have
Junior.
Basically 6 charters available. And Junior's going to want one if he can get it. I just don't know that he's got the money. But if he gets the right partners, then he'll get the money, right? And he's Dale Jr., he should be able to get the right partners. So I don't think you're wrong that if these go away that he ends up with probably 3. If he's going to do it, I think he ends up with 3. But we'll see what happens there. As far as the Allgaier thing goes, that was my real complaint about the Xfinity race.
You're just mad because he took Chase out.
Did you like Chase's spotter? Quote,
I didn't hear that.
Chase said, "So what in the hell happened?" And he said, "Justin Allgaier drove it in until he saw Jesus and Earnhardt." Justin restarted behind Chase to restart before. They had a caution like 2 laps in. He was like, "Dang, he got beat by Zilich." So he was like, "Well, I'm gonna restart on the inside," and he just didn't have it, and he didn't lift, and he washed up, and Chase could have tried to drive around the outside of him, and they both would have ended up wrecked, 2 junked race cars, and what's the point in that? But, I mean, Chase had pretty well dominated Stage 3 of that race until Allgaier did his nonsense and just sent it down into Turn 1. I do question a little bit in the Xfinity Series, why are we restarting on the inside? You should know this is what's going to happen every week. They turned that thing back into like 5 cautions. I mean, D.Y., I know you were on the way to I-75. I was watching.
I was watching,
on
though.
the way there. Like, they had
I had it in the dash there.
11 cautions. 10 or 11 cautions in this race. NASCAR added, did you hear when they said, I didn't realize this till right before I pulled in, but NASCAR had actually added 10 laps to this race.
Oh, I didn't.
From the last race, because last race was too fast. This race was 2 hours and 24 minutes. 10 cautions for 41 laps. So 41% caution on a 100-lap race. That's ridiculous. The Cup race was 3 hours and 4 minutes, and they ran an extra. How many laps was the Cup race? Why can I not find it? 160. They ran an extra 60 laps. I mean, like, and it was only 30 minutes longer. It's ridiculous. But I don't know. They got to figure it out. Pocono's a great track. This is the one thing I want to talk about too. The Xfinity. Did y'all see the crowd at the Xfinity race?
Did not.
Yeah.
Banger, full. They sold out all the camping. They sold out all the grandstands for Sunday. I think if you look at Pocono and Michigan both, there's no arguments to be had that we should be going to mini racetracks more than one time.
Yeah.
I think we go to Bristol one time. We put 200,000 in there and see what happens. So I don't know. I think I'm at the point of like we really don't need to go anywhere twice, in my opinion. Not that Ben Kennedy's asking me when he's making the schedule. So we'll see what happens. I don't want a bunch of street courses. We got another one of those coming up. I don't know if y'all seen that. We'll talk about that when we get to the end. But other than that, Xfinity race. Congratulations, Connor Zilich. Can we all agree that's the first of many?
Yes.
Yeah.
His first oval, non-oval win.
Where do y'all think he ends up, just for the record, next year?
Oh, I say Trackhouse. I say he'll take Suarez's ride.
Man.
I don't know. Hey, I could see him stay in Xfinity for another year, to be honest with you.
I think where he ends up mostly depends on this charter situation. Suarez has a little bit of money.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. SVG, like, he's gonna win, but I guess if it's a business decision to put SVG in to win and be locked in the playoffs, is SVG better on a road course than Zilich? I mean,
Probably.
Yeah.
But so if you put them both in Cup cars, are they 1 and 2? I mean, like Zilich is he's a good road racer. Like he is a good road racer. So he's definitely better on the oval. So I don't know. It's just kind of we'll see what happens there. I'm really curious to see what happens. One of them guys is going to get left out. I mean, they might get Corey LaJoy, and put in a car they don't want to be in because I think they're all on contract. So we'll see what happens there. But that it for Xfinity. Y'all got anything else you need to add for the Xfinity race? It's a good time. I was just thinking the whole time, if only we could just run these with the Cup Series drivers and another 300 horse. That's all I can think every week anymore. I don't know. All right, Cup race. I'm not even going to talk about it, so somebody else go, and I'll just sit here and bitch at the end.
I'll go for it. So Denny Hamlin got stage 1. Stage 2, there was that pit road accident with the 88 crew guy hit by a tire. I saw the highlights of it. I didn't see it live, honestly, but so I can't really go over much of that. I didn't see it live.
Hold on.
Yep.
One thing about that.
Yep.
Best thing of that whole thing, this guy is wearing. So they're sponsored by Safety Culture, and this dude absolutely gets clocked by a tire, dude. So I guess it was. I don't even know who it was. Somebody hit Allmendinger, maybe. I think it was Allmendinger.
I think so.
Hit this tire, and this tire hit this dude dead center, right on the Davenport. You know how whenever you throw a pass in basketball, and they're like, hit him in the number, hit him in. I mean, it was dead center tire off Allmendinger's car, dude. And he finished the pit stop. I wouldn't have done it. I'll just go ahead and say it. I don't think I'd have had it in me. So that was awesome. Glad he's not hurt. But yeah, the Safety Culture was just, perfect.
The cherry on
top. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
So stage 2 was very busy with cautions, and the driving was picking up a little bit. So Chase Elliott was running much better compared to the last couple of weeks and months. So he got acting like he can drive again. Brad Kay was out front. It was good to see him out front, but he was trying to outsmart his crew chief by 1 lap. And who knows when the caution's really going to come out? I get it, but he was like second guessing he was just not trusting his crew chief. So I'll let y'all kind of give y'all thoughts on that.
I mean, sometimes you think you want to push it and stuff like that, but the real thing with Keselowski, let's just go ahead and get it out in the water here. How in the do you go down pit lane when it's not open?
I
I
forgot about that one.
How?
Yeah, that was edit minute 41. Okay.
It was blinking yellow. It was blinking orange.
Listen, I didn't even get this in the notes because I was like making food and missed this sequence, and I've seen this since. But like, all right, there's 3 people to blame. One is the driver, probably first and foremost, because he had to drive past the flashing red lights.
Yeah, you would have had
right?
to see it.
So they're flashing red lights. Are we all in agreement that when we're at the racetrack, we can see if the lights are on? We're at the racetrack. Okay, all right, we're all in agreement on that. Number 2, crew chief's got to know. For one, I really do. And the spotter,
Has got to know too.
Listen, TJ.
Yeah.
TJ Majors.
Be interesting to hear how that goes on
let's just go ahead and say it. TJ Majors got a cool suit, 27 iPads, and SMT data, but by God, he don't know if pit road's open. So he's probably gonna have to hire an assistant and tell him if pit road's open or not. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry. They did make some good points, It was a long pit cycle, and pit road should have been open. There was that. The fact that NASCAR does some weird stuff. Sometimes they make these cautions way longer than they have to for commercials or whatever. I don't, with Prime it's a little different, but it still seemed like maybe they were doing that. But I don't know. I felt like that one was really long. And he got, how about the fact he kind of got faked out by Hosfar and Hamlin.
Yeah.
And both of them after the race said they knew it was closed and didn't want to stop him from making a mistake. That was bad. Bad mistake all around on the team. And then for Brad to, what D-Wall was talking about, try to outsmart the crew chief. Brother.
Yeah.
Listen, when I'm on iRacing, crew chief says, Pitt, we coming in, son. We coming. You know what I'm saying? We coming, okay? And, I don't know. That's pretty bad. That's also, I said Rodney Childers and Lane Riggs next year. So, but if Brad, are we in agreement? That we can see the writing on the wall for Brad that it's time.
Brad needs to retire along with Kyle Busch.
All right, let's talk about Bubba Wallace for a minute. Drops the net down under green flag. It was not quite caution. He's dropping that, like unbuckling. It seemed like he was ready to get the heck out of that car. I felt you can't be doing that.
No.
That's probably frowned upon.
I agree. I thought that was pretty bad. I was like, Bubba, son, what are you doing? How about the fact that Prime kept calling that a flat tire? And, like, I watched it on camera the first time, and I was like, no, that's Chunk's brake rotor.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's a flat tire.
You know?
And I'm like, boys, come on now.
It seems like them Toyotas always have an issue with the brake rotors. Doesn't matter if it's Richmond, Martinsville, wherever, here, road courses. Like, that seems like the Toyotas specifically always have brake issues.
And specifically the 2311 cars
Yeah.
for whatever reason. And it's always Bubba. Reddick, Reddick was out there yesterday. The thing that I do feel bad about, for Bubba is, like, Pocono's one of those tracks when we've all watched enough races here. When you hit that wall, that's one place I would never want to hit the wall.
Yeah.
It's not a round turn. You've got to turn all the ways around, right? When you hit it, it's a long ways up to the wall. You've seen those nasty Jeff Gordon. You've seen Elliott Sadler, Jimmy Johnson, Bowman's took some good ones there. Byron's even took a good one there. Like, you lose a tire or brakes at Pocono, and it hurts, right? And I think, like, you watched his face. And I don't know if y'all saw it on the end card, but before he even hit the wall, his eyes, he's just like, oh, and just smashed it off the wall. But yeah, dropping the window net, I mean, the car wasn't on fire. I was like, buddy, you're still running 150 while we got the window net down. I know you're mad, but I don't know. I heard that Freddie, I saw an X somewhere that Freddie might have stayed on the spotter stand, and somebody's like, no, dude, this thing's junk. Like, you can come on in. But I don't know. And then his whole comments about Michael Jordan, that were pretty good, too. So, yeah, you're right, D. This is a great second stage. This is the only good part of the whole race.
Yeah.
So, all right, continue on.
So the 71 had a blown tire, a McDowell, or a brake rotor. So there's a lot of brake rotors and miscellaneous, issues with these cars. They're in stage 2 with just whether it's a brake rotor or a blown tire. But so Chase Briscoe. Now we'll get into him a little bit more. He got the was it?
Stage.
No, he didn't win. Okay. So he won stage. Okay, so he won stage 1 or stage 2. Yeah. So anyway, so Chase Briscoe, he's been doing better, and he's one of those guys that it helps to win to get in for him. He probably could have got it on points, but for him to win was good, and it's finally his time. So I'll go ahead and jump into my take on the last stage when they were coming to the end. So he got his fuel, but in the moment they thought he didn't get enough fuel in. He left a little quicker than Hamlin, I believe, and so when he came out, he was just having to save fuel pretty much as soon as he was out on those caution laps, and they didn't have any more caution laps to help get to the end, so he was really out front and having to save, like backing up the corners and out. So when I was watching, they were really telling him to just save as much as you can because they thought they were short. But on Prime, they were really showing the gas mileage on the TV, and he was getting way better than Hamlin and Blaney.
Yeah.
So that was kind of unique to see. So I liked how he was able to save, and I liked how he was able to hold off second and third place. But I did not like, in my opinion, they were just riding. I mean, it was just I was wanting Hamlin to really get on, get with Briscoe, and just didn't happen. And I was just sitting down here watching it, and it was just like, man, when's somebody gonna make a move? But just never happened.
They just can't. They can't. The cars are too much aero. You can't pass anybody when they have clean air.
Yeah,
It's impossible.
So I'll say this: it reminded me a lot of the Indy 500 that I watched, where nobody could make a pass at the end of that when I was there. But so this is what I'll say: Briscoe, great job on the fuel saving. 9 laps, bro. 9 laps. That is. Mm-hmm. He's getting an entire mile to the gallon, like 1.2 miles a gallon better than them other guys, according to the burn bar. Thank God Prime had a burn bar so we could have something to talk about for the last stage of this stupid race. I mean, that's all we had to talk about. But anyways, so Briscoe basically leaves pit box way too soon and wins the race because of it. Which this leads us to the issue in NASCAR we're talking about just saying. But yeah, it was. I thought your boy D-Watt. I thought old Blaney. He had the fastest car when he got. Chase let him pass for third. Like, Chase was running third, and then he caught up to Chase, and Chase pulled over and let him pass him, and I was like, okay, Blaney's about to go do something. He pulled up behind Hamlin the first time, pushed the nose, and I was like, he ain't going nowhere. And Briscoe drove away a little bit, and then Hamlin reeled him back in, and he just couldn't. Every time he tried, he'd get tight, push across the track, and, aero-dependent cars, no clean air. I mean, what are you going to do? There's no room at Pocono, really. You can make room, but because of how the turns are, it's not really wide enough racing line to get fresh air like you have at, a mile and a half or Michigan or whatever, where you can just go to a complete different line. It's just not an option. So, I think Briscoe did a really good job. Congratulations to him. He needed that. Obviously going to Gibbs, big time for him. He didn't want to be in that Ty Gibbs category of not winning in a Gibbs car. Leave that for losers like Ty Gibbs, But I was happy for Chase. I like Chase. I know I've given him a hard time. He went to Ford. I hate it. He went to Toyota. I hate it. But, he's a dirt guy. He's just a good he's a good dude. The whole Tony Stewart fandom and all that. Being from Indiana. He does need to talk to Jeff Gordon's hair guy, just for the record. I don't know if y'all see
You mean
him.
Charlie Logano's
Put
hair?
the hat on, but he needs to talk to some of these more experienced drivers and get a hair guy. I think it was somebody said at one point in time that Jeff Gordon's back was probably bald because they put it all on his head. But I'm a Gordon fan. I can say that. I love him to death. But there was that time when he didn't have any hair, and then now he's got it all back. It's beautiful and flowing. So, talk to him. Chad Canal, same thing. So we'll see what happens there. But congratulations to Briscoe for the win. All right. And Bash Pro Shops. It's always a good time. NASCAR. So here's where we're at. Are y'all have any interest in watching another Cup race at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's better than me. I don't know, man.
The racing's not good, but I still want to watch it.
I'm kind of right there with you. Like it's like I'm having a beezer beat me, and I just keep going back every week. That's what I feel. I'm tired of it, man. Like, you can't pass. It's stupid. They know that the issues are that there's, they need too much clean air. They aren't going to power, whatever. Like, let's do something, and we're not doing anything. And it's terrible. And the thing that I'm really tired of, what won Chase Briscoe this race?
Clean air.
No.
Yeah.
A mistake. Leaving pit road too early without enough fuel. The problem is, this has turned into IndyCar open wheel racing, where this is now fuel mileage racing. That's all we do now. Like, that's it. That's all they do. If you like strategy, cool. I want to see guys knock each other out of the way. That's what I want to see. I want to see, Joey Logano and Matt Kenseth out front spinning somebody. If they can't get past them, I want to see them get them loose and move them. Like, this is stupid. I don't like this whole thing about we're having to calculate out. Prime did a great job on the coverage and makes it entertaining, so congratulations to them on at least making the best of their 5 races. But, like, I'm not watching NASCAR to know how long they were on pit road and let that determine who wins the race, right?
Yeah.
Don't we want to see a pass at the end of the race? Isn't that what we want to see?
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Hamlin in that situation in particular should be able to pull up on the back of Briscoe and move him.
Yeah.
At least make him drive. But he never even was able to apply any pressure on him and make him have to drive the car. I don't know. It's stupid. I hate this pit thing because it's now, back in the day we used to talk about road courses and backwards calculating fuel, right? That's how it used to always be. We're going to go backwards from our last stop, and that's how we're going to figure out when we're going to pit, so we never go a lap down. They do it every week now. But it's a little bit different because now they're just trying to figure out how they can have the shortest last pit stop, right?
Yeah.
What do I have to do to take the least amount of gas on last pit stop? And, you go back to a bigger track like this, maybe it's now a strategy. Hey, I'm going to take a little less than I got to have and hope we get lucky with a caution, or, if I can get enough space, I can block them. I don't know that there's another track like Pocono that you can necessarily do it on, maybe like in New Hampshire, something like that. But, maybe they're going to go back to New Hampshire with more horsepower. I don't know. But somewhere like this track where you can aero block like that, if nobody can pull up and pass you, what do you need gas for? Briscoe was leaving his car in 5th gear longer than anybody else, short shifting, just rolling. I mean, his I would like to see the lap times compared to like early in the race. I didn't look that up for the podcast. I'm sorry, but you know, it looked like he was going slower. It seemed like he was going slower, and you know, when you're not driving as hard, you shouldn't be pulling away and keep people behind you. I don't know. That's my opinion. I'm tired of it. But y'all don't seem to be as fired up, so maybe I'm just tired. I'm not here to watch fuel mileage racing. That's my thing.
And it's like, see, that is where NASCAR has gone wrong. It's become so much of a production to where we have all these drafting tracks like Atlanta now, where all we want to see is wrecks, and it has just turned all their other races into junk.
Yeah.
Because they know at the end of the day, next week at Atlanta, they're going to junk half the field on a third or second, whatever, green, white, checkered, because that's what they want to show for the TV, and that's what they're going to get with the product that they've created. And that product screws all the actual racing that people want to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for the casual fan, this whole, you know, viewers on the screen, I don't know. It's just, these cars they've made the mile-and-a-half races more entertaining, as in closer, but you're not getting to watch good guys win. When we watched Super Late Model races, you watched Davenport, he whooped everybody's ass Saturday night. Was that mean it's a bad race? No. There was late caution. He had to, you know, handle it. Even Hedgecock at their little 60-lap crate race, like, he got in lap traffic. Some guys reeled him in. He got back away. He got tight there for a minute. He really didn't have much bite up off the corner, and he ended up changing up, making it work. Like, that's what race car drivers do. That's why Kyle Busch sucks. That's why Chase Elliott sucks. That's why, I mean, I'm serious. That's why you got guys that can drive. And like, to me, Chase Elliott goes and gets in that Xfinity car on Saturday. And yeah, I'm a Chase Elliott fan. Obviously, I'm not, you know, I got a helmet right there. I got a hat right here. Some stickers over here. Yes, I'm a fan. But like, I'm to the point where in the Cup Series, like, he's not real good. He's not good. And some people are like, yeah, he's never been able to drive. Kyle Busch can't drive a Cup car. Do we think Kyle Busch can't drive? I just don't think that the cars allow guys with talent to drive anymore. I mean, I don't know. It's all about fuel mileage and managing the situation. That's boring. I want to watch guys go out there and put it over the edge and not wreck, you know? Even Hocevar, they kept talking about that save when he hit the wall. Like, you know, we got to watch that every weekend back in the day when the cars stepped out and were loose. Kyle Busch, how many times did we watch Kyle Busch bust his ass and save it? Like, literally every week. You know, Denny's doing a good job, but Denny's got a good crew chief right now. They've been really solid, but they're making all the right pit calls, right? And that's why they're doing so well. And, you know, shout out to Gibbs for having that under control. But like I said, really, I mean, Briscoe won this one because he messed up at the end of the day. So, I don't know. It's pretty dumb. Other than that, I'll quit complaining. Prime review, 1 out of 5. Yay, nay.
10. 10 out of 5.
Okay.
I give it a 8 out of 10.
It was good enough. Their races as they drew were pretty shitty for them. Sorry, I have to be that. But
they got a kind of tough draw on the races.
Mexico City was tough because SVG just smoked them. Michigan is okay, I guess. Pocono's not great. I don't know. I feel kind of bad for them on the draw of the races, but it is what it is. I thought it was good. I do like the personalities in there. The good news is Carl Edwards is going to be in a race car. Y'all think so? I mean, that man.
I don't know about that.
That man to me seemed like he wants to be in a race car. I'm just getting the vibes. And it might be an Xfinity car. It might be a Cars Tour, but he's going to be in a race car, I think, at some point. He's back around it, and, you know, we'll see what happens there. I'd like to see him in a Cars Tour, I think, is where I like to see him. And I'd like to see him running next gen somewhere, just for fun. But other than that, 4777 update.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put it down here.
So I called it last week on the show. I said, no, there won't be any kind of ass whooping or whatever he was saying down there in Mexico. But he had, I knew he's probably not going to hook him at Pocono.
Yeah.
But I want him to take care of his business in a way that I don't want him to wait until it's important or wait till a certain track because that's the best to take him out at. I hope he takes care of him, but I don't know how he's going to do it. I feel like there wasn't all kind of talk about this week, which is kind of nice. Just just have those two guys go out and race, and whatever happens, happens. But we'll see. They were kind of close by each other, on Sunday, but nothing ever happened.
I'm going to say this week at Atlanta is a good week for it to happen at.
We've seen one of the worst paybacks in NASCAR history at Echo Park Speedway for sure. I don't know what Atlanta is, but we did. If you go back to the Brad Keselowski, Carl Edwards, I mean, upside down on the fence and all that. It can't happen. I don't want to see anybody right hook there. I think that you got 2 road courses coming up here right after that, Chicago and Sonoma. If business ain't handled, I'd imagine it's going to get handled there. I mean, that's probably the easiest place to do it. Ricky is probably going for a win this weekend, so I don't think he's got much time to think about Hocevar. Good news is Hocevar is also going to be going for a win this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
They might find each other.
Hocevar was fast there earlier in the year, and Ricky's can always do something at a drafting style track, so you never know. Come the white flag, we might see a 47 and a 77 door to door.
Yeah, Hocevar was fast. I mean, we were at this race. Hocevar was making moves, though, and he was overly aggressive, right?
Yeah.
He's going to have to be able to temper that a little bit to the end, and we'll see what happens there. Obviously, they're going to Atlanta this week, so we'll see what happens there at the Echo Park Speedway in Hampton, Georgia. It's not even Atlanta, so I don't know why we call it that, but yeah, we'll see. Other than that, this bracket thing, I'm pretty disappointed. I haven't chewed anybody about that yet. Y'all can get on NASCAR.com, fill you out a bracket. We're going to do one. We'll see who wins. I don't know. Loser has to do something. I don't even know. We'll try to figure that out. The bad news is NASCAR doesn't know how to do this stuff. They need a publicity firm to do it for them. I've already ranted on them enough, so I'll stop. But there's no bracket groups. We can't make a group, so you just have to get on there and make a bracket. You can win $1 million. Nobody's going to get all these right. There's 31 picks. Nobody's going 31 for 31. It's not going to happen. So absolutely no risk to NASCAR on the payout here. Oddly enough, I ended up with Ryan Preece and Ross Chastain is my final 2. It's very, very wonky how this thing is going to work. Dude, listen, your first 3 races, super speedway, road course.
It is true.
There's some weird matchups. They seeded it off the last 3 races. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm really upset that we can't have a group for it. I spent a lot of time looking for it last night and this evening before the race. It's just, I wanted this to be ESPN Tournament Challenge, and I feel like this NASCAR had a chance to do a little fan outreach, get everybody gambling on it, and I'm sure they'll have a little bit of that. But this was their chance to be the summer pool at the office, right? And then they've basically butchered it by not allowing groups. So I could have got guys at my work do this that don't even watch NASCAR, but they would have picked this, and that's where they missed it by not having an app ready to go and not having this bracket to make groups and all this stuff. Because it's stupid if I have to go through there and search JP 2009 user ID blah 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 to try to find your bracket on the leaderboard. That sucks. So we'll see how many come in. I don't know. I think this is big time. I think some of these smaller teams are going to try to win this thing. I really do. I think by the end of it, we'll start talking about when we get closer, to the end. But I think at the end of this thing, I do think people's going to care. This week, next week, I don't think anybody cares. But after that, I think somebody probably will. So we'll see how it goes. If you have any comments on that, we might make a second episode. We're about done here. So other than that, trucks are at Lime Rock Raceway Park.
Sir.
Something like that. On Saturday afternoon, Cup race is Saturday night. Xfinity is Friday night. All that in Atlanta. Y'all go on down there, and we won't. We'll be at the house. Me and D-Watt were talking about it, though.
Oh, yeah.
By God, we were close. I actually think I'm going to be in Alabama, so I might see y'all. We'll see on the way down there. I don't know. But other than that, picks. Nobody got a win. D-Watt was closest with the Jesse Love. Finished in second to his boyfriend, Connor Zillich. So I gave you a point because you're so far behind it. Me and Joel, I wouldn't have done it. But since you were the closest and you started late, I figured I'd give it to you. So picks. All right, JP, we're going to do this a little different this time. We talked about this we're going to do Cup is going to be first, and then Xfinity, and then you're going to get one wild card pick. That's just what we're going to do. We're going to do them all in order. So Cup's first. D-Watt's going last. Do you want to go first or second?
I go first.
All right. Fire.
Cup race.
Yep.
Give me the 9 machine.
Okay, I'm going to take 77, Carson Hocevar, and I'm going to pick him every week till it happens, because it's got to happen at some point in time.
And I got Ryan Blaney.
Ryan Blaney. You know, him and his boy Chase, they were talking about each other a lot there. All right, Xfinity, JP.
Give me Carson Quapple.
Carson Quapple. All right. This is pretty easy for me. I'm gonna pretty much just go with 21 car. Bennett Transportation number 21. Bennett Transportation down there. We all seen him smoke them down there. So I'll go ahead and go with Austin Hill. Thank you.
That's a good pick. I go with Sam Mayer.
Again, you're just kind of riding him like I'm riding Hocevar. So it's gonna happen at some point.
It's gonna happen eventually.
I like it. I respect that. Actually. All right. Wild card. What you want?
I got the secret lowdown guarantee lock for this
baby.
weekend in the Truck Series. Give me Jordan Taylor in the number 7 Spire Motorsports machine.
Oh, baby. That's a solid pick. That was a good research. I'll give you that. That's probably an excellent pick. Give me Jimmy Owens at Lake Cumberland Friday night and Hunt the Front. I believe he's smoked him up there. He's already got one win there this year. I'll take Jimmy Owens on Friday night.
All right, Saturday night, I'll go with Jimmy Owens at Florence.
Oh,
Damn.
No. He ain't going to win both. Florence ain't his kind of track. It's too long for Jimmy. Come on. I'm going to tell you right now, Jimmy Owens is not winning Saturday. You want to change your pick?
Okay, well, that's what I had written down, yeah.
You want to change your pick? Or you going to stay locked in?
No, I'm keeping I like it.
Okay, we'll see. I gave you a chance. I just want it noted here on the podcast. I gave D-Watt a chance to do something else because Jimmy Owens is not winning no Florence Speedway. I'm just
Now,
telling you.
hey, I know we only get 3 picks, and you took away to where I can't pick all my picks.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, Max Verstappen is going to win this weekend in F1 at the Red Bull Ring in Austria for the home race for Red Bull. That's a guaranteed W.
Whenever Max ready to come race NASCAR, call me. I'll be your sponsor. Right here, Caution Flag Contemplations podcast.
I think Red Bull's got it covered whenever he wants to.
Oh God, why have they not done it yet? This is
I
not
don't know.
hard. This is so easy. Max needs to be in NASCAR against Kyle Larson, who's on a slump of a lifetime. He needs to get something figured out. You know what? Kyle Larson, I'm going to go on a little rant right here just to finish this thing up, and then y'all can have your last minute after this. Kyle Larson, get on the phone. Call Kevin Rumley. Get it figured out. Good God, what are you doing, son? We got to do better than this, okay? This ain't cutting it. All right, I'm done now.
Yeah.
JP, one last comment.
I would agree with you. We need to get that old 6 machine dusted off, put a new wrap on it, and out on a track somewhere with Larson driving it.
I mean, HendrickCars.com dirt late model. Oh, they would sell so many T-shirts. See what?
Yeah.
You're sending us out of here.
All I got is check us out online. Check us out on Facebook, TikTok, X. Check us out.
Oh yeah.
Give us a follow on the social media. We're trying to get it out there for you, so follow along.
And with that, we'll see y'all next time. Hammer down. Thank y'all for listening to the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast. Our theme music is Hard as Steel by Alex Productions. Thank you all for listening. Hammering down. Find a good race to watch. We'll see you next time.